Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome everyone to the January 27th regular business meeting of the Grosse Township Board of Trustees. I'm going to call the meeting to order at 7:32, and we have a special presentation tonight. I will turn it over to Detective Ron.
Thank you, Mr. Loftus. Good evening to the board. Thank you for having us here tonight. A little over 25 years ago, I had the unfortunate occasion to be indirectly involved in an incident where a friend of mine who was a police officer was killed in the line of duty. And I had hoped that during my career at some point in time I would be able to do something to pay tribute to the men and women in uniform who have gone before us. Well, one of my duties at the police department, my responsibilities happens to be as the reserve unit commander. The reserves that serve the township voluntarily at football games, civic events, different things that you see them about the township. I couldn't really think of a better group to have represent the honor guard, to form an honor guard, than these men and women who give voluntarily to the township. I also couldn't think of something better than our 100th anniversary of the police department and the 100th anniversary of the township as a perfect time to form the Grosse Reserve Honor Guard. So that's who you see here tonight. So I'd like to present them to you, and I'd like to have them present the colors. Mr. Supervisor, if you would.
Present the colors.
Honor guard. Forward. Lock. Ready. Hold. Post. Colors. Present. On.
Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. On. About. Base. Honor guard. Smith.
Nicely done. Okay. Take your seats, please. As good as any I've seen. But before Director Ralph, Chief, I'm going to ask you to bear with me for just a couple of seconds here. I'll take just another moment of your time. I know you've been busy. This is the opportunity for me to make just a quick presentation. Most of you are aware, Grosse Township was awarded safest place in Michigan to live. Not number 2, not in the top 10, number 1. Okay, that didn't happen by accident. They looked at crime statistics, and the lowest in the state of Michigan. River, you're not far behind, lowest in the state of Michigan. So, again, not by accident. The knucklehead factor does not come to Grosse Ile, and Grosse Ile is just a safe, crime-free community. But I want to extend that a little bit further on the concept that what I consider the total safety concept. Not only are we free from crime, but we try to keep our roads clear. We try to keep them maintained. We want you to be able to safely get to the places you go in your daily lives. We're providing bike paths and sidewalks so that if you're not in a motor vehicle, you can ride your bicycle, you can jog, you can exercise, you can run safely without conflict from motor vehicles. If you should have a health incident or a house fire or some uncontrolled circumstance, we're going to have part of the public safety team will be there almost instantly. A trained, qualified police officer, trained, qualified, and equipped fire and rescue be there to protect life and property. It's the overall safety concept. Being free from crime is a big portion of it, but knowing that your overall safety from daybreak to sunset, overnight, always looking after you. We have the men, we have the equipment, we have the tools, we have the talent, and it's an overall safe community. Much of that is what we're talking about tonight. So Chief Porcerelli, Chief Murdoch, please pass on to your staffs my deep appreciation. I'm sure the appreciation of all of us for making this, not only in terms of crime statistics, very important, because that's what people check, crime statistics and school statistics, and we excel in both of them. But overall, a great, safe community, a great place to live. So, gentlemen, to your staffs, thank you. Thank you. And with that,
Mr. Supervisor, can I take 1 minute?
Chief?
I know this might not be the appropriate time to talk, but I'll just take 1 minute. As Supervisor said, the FBI statistics come out every year. And we did have this, and I believe it was 05 and 06. And again, this year, obviously it's for the year before, it's 212. We were the safest community. But I think what I have to do is I have to give a couple of groups a thank you, and it's very important. We have Police Commissioner here, Bob Zalasko, and Eric. I want to thank them and also the Township Board. I've come to both of you with some technology issues and purchases that I wanted to do that I thought would be in the best interest of Grosse Ile in keeping us safe. And obviously on some of the issues that we've had, we weren't in 100% agreement, but you've supported me in what we've purchased, and it's helped out. One example is what's on the bridge right now. We've caught people. When we interrogate them after we arrest them, they're coming out here to steal. They're coming out here, we have them in the middle of stealing. We found lost people, we found Alzheimer's patients, we find our suspects we're looking for. It's an amazing tool, but it's without your support, without the Police Commission's support, and you and Eric, I couldn't do it, because obviously you control the temperature of the township, all of you, and you're the ones that say what I can purchase and what I can't, and I really do appreciate that, because it helps us, it helps the whole community. But I also want to say thank you to the people who live here. It is very important that the individuals that live here know what their township is all about, know what kind of services they have, but it also goes to the character of the people who live here too. I'm not going to say it's because of your police department 100% that this occurs. It's a group effort. We believe in community policing. We have a great relationship with the schools. We have a great relationship, I believe, with our Detective Bureau and the people. But without that triangle for the Police Commission, the support of the Township Board, and the support of the people, and they've always supported us, and they deserve that award along with us. And I just want to say thank you to you three groups, and we're not sitting still. The ship's still moving forward. We're looking at some new issues. Anything I can find out there to make us safer and to make it a better place to live for all of you, your family, who visit here, who come here, who work here. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that supports us all the time, because without you, I couldn't do it. But, okay, thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay. Well, back to business. At this point, are there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
No, I just talked to the group.
Good ball. Where's Posias?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. We don't have a brief public comment.
Pardon?
Am I,
I'm going by the agenda I have. We're making additions and deletions to the agenda because there's no point in taking public comment on,
okay.
we're still starting out of the agenda we want to go forward with, and we'll get it streamlined, but
My presentation, sir, in that case is to bring forward folks that have worked on the Promoting Active Communities to tell you.
let me, first thing we know, we understand you had forwarded one action item to add to the action items as an addition to the agenda. That's what I was getting at.
Sorry about that. Prior to the other item. This is a recommended action from the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission to approve the appointment of Mr. Roger Will to the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission for the term length January 23rd, 2014 to March 31, 2015, based upon the recommendation of the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission.
Okay, we have this is the motion to add it to the agenda and support it. Those in favor of adding that to the agenda, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None offered. That will be added as action item 1, and as an advisory a deletion to the agenda, the Michigan Employee Retirement System presentation that was scheduled for this evening has been canceled, and the lady said she will try to get us back on that schedule sometime in February. So we'll advise when she's back available to give us a presentation on that system. Other additions, deletions to the agenda? All right, with none offered, those in favor of approving the agenda as amended, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None offered. The agenda stands amended. At this time, I will open the microphone to public comment on agenda items. All right, I see none offered, or do I see one offered?
No, there was
Okay. With none offered, we'll move on to presentation. Mr. Posias.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Sorry I jumped the gun. It's an exciting time for our committee. The BPAC has met and considered the applications of 3 very qualified people and has made a recommendation that Roger will be the person who will fill the vacancy on the Bike Path Committee. That is my motion.
We're working on the presentation on promoting active communities.
Sorry about that again. We got some paper out of order here, apparently.
We're waiting to make the transition to paper. My screen just went blank, but our paperless. So if you would invite, please, the presentation on the promoting active communities. And you who was mostly involved in it, if you would invite the speaker to approach the microphone, please.
I intend to now. Thank you. I appreciate that. Would you come up, Brian, and Alan, and Aaron, 3 representatives from our committee. As you know, about a year ago, we started on a Promoting Active Communities adventure, if you will, a long and tedious task that Alan Veliquette was willing victim to handle. And he enlisted the work of everybody else in the Bike Path Committee, and he stopped in and visited pretty much all of the members of all of the township that had anything to do with our active community. He spent time with Tim Rooney, he spent time with the police department, and several other entities. And he put together an answer to a very detailed list of questions and submitted it. And I'm pleased to tell you that the results of that submission is an award, a bronze award. And I think I'll leave the three of you to explain it from there. And Alan, thank you very much in advance.
Thank you, Willie.
Al, there's a toggle there. You can raise that whole podium. You're all three tall, so raise that microphone up so you can see the neck. That's one option too. But there is a toggle under there where you can raise the whole thing
I'm used to it.
to a comfortable. Yeah,
Thank you.
it's a new sound
You
effect.
good?
Yes, thank
Is
you.
that better?
Thank you, Chief.
Don't worry about it, I couldn't get anything in order, so.
Well, we come back in front of you tonight, and I would like to thank you for your time. This is something we've been working on throughout last year. It was something we thought was important to use as a tool to publicize our community and to help us in maybe further funding other projects. So we took this on, and we made contact with an organization called the Michigan Fitness Foundation. They had a program called the Promoting Active Community Program. It's a self-evaluation program that focuses on 3 different areas and 14 different subcategories. We put our demographics into that equation, sent it back to them. They evaluated it and came back and awarded us with a bronze level award. I have the award here. It's a glass trophy. I have it on the display here. I don't know if they can show it on the screen or not.
Zoom. Focus.
There you go. Keep walking it out. A little more. There you go. Very nice.
It's a beautiful award. They awarded us the bronze level. Give you a little more information about it. We've posted what they call an infographic. I used to call it a brochure, but now they have to rename everything about every 10 years, I guess. The infographic is displayed on the screen also. It briefly touches on how we did on this award. In the 3 categories of built environment, policies and planning, programs and promotions, we did pretty good. One thing that just came to light is that they focus on a safe environment to be active in. And needless to say, we knocked that out of the ballpark. You can't get any safer than we are. So we may not have the big funding of the Novi's and the Ann Arbor and the other beautiful communities that do a lot of biking and pedestrian activities, but nobody can touch us on safety, which I'm very proud of. I'm glad that came out this week before I presented this to you, so we had bragging rights on that. As we look at our infographic, if we could pull that back up.
Hit computer.
Thank you. This was in your information packet. I forwarded it before the meeting. We briefly touched on the different environments. Built environment we scored 66% on. That's a pretty good score considering that we don't have a lot of commercial development. We don't have control of our streets. If you think about it, Wayne County controls our streets, so we don't have a lot of input there. We still scored 66% on that category, which to me is phenomenal. Our planning and policy, we scored a 31.9% on. We're going to be working more on that in the future. We're going to develop a non-motorized plan and a complete streets policy that will look at and implement the things that apply to us. Hopefully by the next time we apply for this or the year after, those will be in place and we'll move forward in this category, probably putting us in a silver category. So we do plan on moving forward and scoring better on this. The last category is programs and promotions. We scored a 62.5% on that, and that says a lot, too, in a small community. We've got a a lot of outreach programs, education programs. We've got a rec department that does so much and offers so many things that really pushed us forward in this category. If you will look in your packets, there's a detailed explanation of each subcategory. You can explore that a little bit later if you haven't already. We have new things coming like a rollerblade hockey rink. We have a fourth dimension to our activity level, which is paddling. Most communities don't have that, and we haven't even touched on that yet. That wasn't even a category that they allowed us to enter because so few communities have that, and we haven't, and we're going to try to highlight it in the future. So hopefully the paddling will step up and be as popular as our pedestrian and bicycle activities. So we have that to look forward to also. That's the gist of it. We do have this beautiful trophy. We haven't made light of where we're going to put it. I will turn that over to Mr. Loftus, and he can decide. Hopefully we'll give you a few more in the next year or two. We can start our own collection. Is there any questions?
First of all, I can assure you that will have a place of honor. I know how much work went into, you were in about once a week cornering people and with a list of questions, and we tried to answer them as best we could, but there was a lot of work. I'll just...
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
He didn't emphasize just exactly how much investigation, how much work by those volunteers went into this award. It was a tedious process. There was a lot of time, a lot of volunteer time put into this, and whatever you need from us to get that, we're going to go for the gold. We're going to go for the gold. Whatever you need from us to get that gold, that's what we want to. That's what I want to see on the wall next time.
Thank you, and I also want to take the time to thank my fellow commissioners on the BPAC. They've been great. Eric Rink, I want to thank you. Wally Posiak, Theodore, I want to thank you. Lauren, you've been great help. My chief stepped up. Dale stepped up. I had so much input. I want to thank everybody. And of course, our little angel, Carol, she steps up for anything we need, fills the void, and she's such a great help. So a special thank goes out to her.
I will ensure she's aware of that. And questions or comments from the board for Sergeant Valcott?
May I start? I think I did them all right this time. Number one, it was a great effort on your part. It was a great effort on BPAC's part. Brian Pollock, our chair, is standing right to you, behind your left shoulder. And Erin, she managed to make a lot of sense out of a lot of heated and wide-ranging meetings and put them into sensible notes. But when you think about a couple of things that you brought out during our meeting, number one, there were only 5 communities in Michigan that got a higher award than bronze. So we're running right with the head of the pack. This is good. Our little community of 10,000 plus people is matching the output in this commission or in this project with many communities that are much more wealthy and much more established than we are. We are charging now, and I'm going to give full credit to the hard chargers of this commission. BPAC has been one phenomenal, busy commission, and I thank all of you, those of you who are here and those of you who are not here. Now, the other thing is you tapped on it a bit, but when you take a safe community and you add an active community to it, it says a lot about the character of this community. And it's 10,000 plus people who care deeply about where we live. And in my estimation, where would you want to live? In a place that's active and safe. So thanks, guys, for bringing that out, ladies, for bringing that out, showing the world who we are. And let's go for the gold, but I'd be happy with silver next year.
Thank you. We'll see what we can do for you, and thank you again for your support.
Okay. Other questions, comments?
Just a comment. Thanks a lot, guys.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I too would like to add thank you, Al, and Aaron and Brian. You guys do. I mean, I don't go to your meetings, but I hear about you all the time from Wally, and I appreciate your everything you do.
Great passion.
Thank you. Well, Wally, thank you for your time on your input and your liaison time, because it's invaluable to us.
That's what we do.
Thank you.
Great job, guys.
Okay. Okay, once again, thanks. We'll move on to consent agenda.
Mr. Supervisor, I'd like to make a motion to approve consent agenda 14-008. It includes the approval of the minutes of the January 13th, 2014 regular meeting and approval of the check register dated January 24th, 2014.
Support.
Okay, I have a motion to approve the consent agenda, seconded by trustee Budney. Those in favor of approving the consent agenda as published, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None offered. The consent agenda stands approved. Moving on to action items. Mr. Posiask.
I finally get to do it. I just couldn't wait for this. This is an exciting time to make an appointment to the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission. We recommend to approve the appointment of Mr. Roger Will to the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission for the term length January 23rd, 2014 to March 31st, 2015, based on the recommendation of the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission.
Support.
Okay, moved by trustee Posiask, seconded by trustee Budney.
One comment, great choice.
I'd like to comment great choice too, and it was a great choice out of 3 spectacular candidates. And Roger has been around, he understands our township. He was most active in roads and bike paths when he was involved in the township at the last time. And he wrote on his application, "I am a huge fan of what the commission and board are doing to make Roseville more bike and pedestrian friendly and would love to help out." This is the kind of person that we were looking for. And we're very, very happy that we would propose his name for this position.
All right. Further comments, questions from the board? All right, with none offered, those in favor of the appointment of Marty Will to the Bike Path Advisory Committee, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None offered? Mr. Will, welcome aboard. Welcome back.
He apologizes he could not be here. He's out traveling on business today. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll put him to work quickly.
Excellent. That concludes our action items tonight. We'll step to the clerk's report. Mr. Rankin. Clerk Rankin.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. No report tonight for clerk.
Okay. Treasurer's report.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. December investment information was not complete to include in this board packet, but will be available for the next board meeting, and it will be available on my website. Gross Seal winter property taxes are due February 14th. Summer winter taxes can only be paid here at the township with a penalty for the first 2 weeks after that date. As of March 1st, 2014, unpaid taxes are considered delinquent and must be made at Wayne County, and you don't want to do that. Trust me. Payment are acceptable at Township Hall by mail or at the local branches of Fifth Third and PNC Bank, as well as Metro Shores Credit Union. Taxes can also be paid online using a link at your treasurer's website. There is a convenience fee charged by the official payment company of $3 for an e-check payment and 3% fee paid for credit card payments. Extension of the February 14th due date is available for those who qualify. Winter tax deferment applications are available at the treasurer's office and must be submitted by February 14th. Your time is running out. Approved deferments will extend the February 14th due date till April 30th, 2014. The 2,000 dog tags are available and must be purchased by the end of January. To obtain the $6 fee, the cost of the tag increases to $12 on February 1st. There is no Commerce Park meeting this month. The next meeting will be the third Monday of February, at which time we'll be looking at some bids that were received that we went out for at the last board meeting. I have nothing else.
Thank you, Mr. Treasurer. Move on to trustee reports. Mrs. Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Only a couple of things tonight. The Groseal Schools, I don't know if everybody knows about this, but I figured I would share. They're in the process of creating a strategic plan that spans the next 3 to 5 years. And they're basically asking for community input via an online survey. And that survey can be found at their website, which is gischools.org. Additionally, there are going to be 2 community feedback sessions, and they're going to take place at the administration building on East River, right behind the middle school. The dates of those particular sessions are Wednesday, January 29th at 7 p.m., and then there is a daytime session on Wednesday the 5th at 10 a.m.
Excuse me, Lauren, that January 29th meeting has been moved to February 12th.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you. And then on, we've had a lot of good news today, and I'm going to add some more to that. The Communications Commission is moving forward really well with the website, and we've got some good stuff coming, and Kathy Walker, our chairwoman of the Communications Commission, is here this evening to give us a brief update and kind of a status report. And the good thing is that we did come to an agreement that we could have the website go live May 1st. So it's very exciting. So if you wouldn't mind coming up, Chairwoman, and give us a little bit of a overview, that'd be great.
Thank you. Well, we're going to have our first sneak peek tonight, and let's see if we can get this. Now, this is not exactly how it looks. I didn't bring my computer because I was afraid of dropping it. But this will show you, generally speaking, what we're dealing with. First of all, the website. That's the first view of Groseal for most people. It's got to be enticing, welcoming, attractive, alluring, and even wooing people to cross that bridge. And that's what we're going to do for you. We are going to have that done. April 1st, we are going to beta test, if not sooner. And that, I couldn't get that in writing today, but I did get them to say as long as we are happy with the artwork, which we will be eventually. We are not yet, but we will be. It should be no problem. In fact, about a week and a half ago, Ted Fournier and I spent 5.5 hours cleaning up the website. We went through and deleted everything. And if your stuff isn't there, it's because it wasn't right. So, make it right. And I think there was a message going out to everybody. We want pictures of everyone. Do we all understand that? New pictures, Mr. Ranka, because you had a halo behind you, and I wasn't going to fix that. I want you all to look pretty in the pictures. No hats, no anything. I want everyone looking pretty, and I want you to do a bio. And if you don't write one, you don't want me to write it, because I will. So anyways, do that, please. Now, just...
You have a 3-minute limit.
I was invited up here. I was invited. And don't forget, we're going to talk about that paddling later. We got that, too. Okay. Our current website was wonderful when it started. It's a little tired now. It had a blue theme. Well, now what we're doing, we've got a theme that everyone on our commission, and I have the letters, and Lauren, you were very positive. Everyone was. They loved it. It seems airy. What we're going to is now to really showcase Groseal. We're showcasing the blue water. We're showcasing the foliage. We're showcasing the ground. We want it to be very inviting for people who like the outdoors, who enjoy this environment. We're not urban. We're more Cabela types. You know, a lot of people are Cabela types, and it's kind of like they have, what is that thing called? The camo. We have camo, but classy. So anyways. Chic camo. Thank you, Brian. Very good. Now, I just want to tell you what we're doing here. This isn't it done at all. This heading up here will be moved over. We got good news today. We were told we couldn't have it. When we had our meeting, this carousel down here, which is a very easy thing for everybody to click on to find what they want, it's messy and cluttering the page. Today we found out it can be done vertically. That is huge. It'll open up the page. Everything on here will be more artistic. It's going to pop. We're going to use, let me get a more dramatic look. We're looking for a wow factor. Right now, it's fine, but it's not wow. It's going to be wow. I want this to be the best website in the state of Michigan. And it's going to take some blood and tears, but it'll be their blood and tears, and we're going to get it done. We're going to have more definition on the header, the navigation bar. It's too washed out. We want new pictures. I already said that about that. Okay. We need a banner, and this is a challenge for the board. Where's our banner for the 100 year?
That's coming.
We need that. Good. You brought that up. Good. And what happened is we have a new logo for the police that will be prominently displayed. Of course, we'll put in about, number one in the state. These pictures, if you'll notice, they're all Grosse Ile centric, and that's very important. Our pictures will be floating. We'll have at least 3 in the background that are all Grosse Ile centric, not somebody's business. Grosse Ile centric, Grosse Ile Township. And you'll notice the children in the picture. And by the way, this picture is from the Ile camera. We have almost 300 pictures. Most of them are from the Ile camera and Julie Kovac, she graduated from Grosse Ile. She's a professional photographer. All we have to do is put her name on it. And we will put also the Ile camera. We'll give everybody a plug. But we've got 300 beautiful pictures to choose from. So we can float them, we can change the backgrounds, we can change these all we want, and on the second page where your picture and bio will be for your groups, we can put as many pictures as you want. We can just do a carousel, which is very important. There will be more translucency. Right now it looks like it's too block, it's too opaque. There'll be more gradation down here, and it'll be much wider. When you bring it up, you'll have that carousel here to make it very easy for everyone. And we took into consideration, I went to the seniors, and I said, what do you want? And they wanted to be able to read it. So we have something that they can make it larger, the print for them. That's very important. And they asked about it. And then I went to another meeting, and they said, well, what's been going on with that website for us? So they were keeping me and my feet to the fire, which is good. Okay, we cleaned it all up. We're right on track. There will be more artistry. We will have a full calendar. It's not going to be messy here. When you click on this, we'll have a full calendar. You can do it by week, by month, by day. It's going to be great. It really will pop. And I can't say that enough. We're going to have the artwork we deserve. Any questions?
I'm looking forward to it.
Good.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to being done.
Okay. I'll get you my bio right away. So
I expect everybody's bio, because you don't want me to start calling you. I think somebody knows what a stalker I can be. So, anyways, and as far as the paddling goes, we are on board for this year. We're going to have a big year with We Kayak. Just to let you know, we've got lots of plans going on. When we get them all finalized, we'll be putting them on the Facebook page, We Kayak Grosse Ile, and I hope that helps with the next award, and it helps you get the gold. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker.
Now, I just want to thank also Kathy for, so far you've done a really nice job of executing and coordinating everything. So I know that we as a board, as well as the other commissioners, are really looking forward to getting this going, and we're really thrilled. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Mr. Posias.
Just a couple things for community interest. First of all, the Greenways Open Space Committee will be meeting on February 4th. You're all welcome to attend. And then on the 15th of February, which is a very special day for me because it's for my favorite charity, the Knights of Columbus, we have an annual chili and brownie contest to be held at the VFW. Come on down and enter your chili or enter your brownies, or better yet, both, into our event. Know that the proceeds from this go to charities. Very many of them stay right here on Grosse Ile to help folks in need. And have a great time. All of the chili, all of the hot dogs, all of the French fries you can eat. We always have door prizes and raffles, and it's a really fun event. Your kids, if they're 6 to 15, they're only $5 to feed them, and if they're 5 or under, they're free. So it's a great night out, and if you miss taking your wife for Valentine's, you'll one day later be able to reestablish good home relations. Please come down.
I don't know who's going to get away with that, but
Well, you can try.
yeah, worth a try. All right, anything else?
That's it, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Posias. Mr. Bundy?
No report tonight.
Very good. Mr. Malesto?
No report tonight.
Well, okay, you're not going to be quite that lucky with me. Move on to, but I'll be sure. Couple odds and ends. Rec department. Senior lunch, midwinter luncheon is this Wednesday, Wednesday, February 5th at 12:30 p.m. at Centennial Farm. $10. Get your tickets in advance, please. I remember these days. The Daddy-Daughter Dance, scheduled for Friday, February 7th, 2014 from 6:30, Carol, she has AM, it's not that long, 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Middle School Cafe. $25 per couple with each additional daughter, $8. Well, please register by February 5th, and it is a limited capacity. Some more township business. The annual meeting will be held Monday, March 24th, beginning at 6:30, with a reception, light refreshments. See your neighbors and friends, your board members, your commission committee members. That'll begin at 7:15, and the regular business meeting at 8 p.m. The township's chance to thank all the volunteers who make up our commissions and committees, who work very hard for the betterment of our island community. If any resident is interested in serving on a township commission or committee, openings are available. Contact Carol at administration or at the clerk's office for more information and application, and we can always use more help. Township offices, due to the weather, we've decided with the township manager, Chief Murdoch, and myself, we're going to close township offices tomorrow. While we do miss the opportunity to conduct township business, we really don't want you out in what we decided was dangerous to deadly weather. If you don't have it, I don't need township employees braving that weather when there will be very few inbound customers, hopefully anyway. So we will be closed tomorrow. The business office, public safety will be open to look after you. I implore you, if you're using space heaters, please be careful with them. We don't want, if the fire department doesn't have to launch a single truck, it'd be wonderful for the rest of the winter. If you know of a friend or relative or a neighbor who is using space heaters, who is doing something that's questionable, please let us help them. You can advise dispatch, advise the chief. We'll get somebody out to help them. If you have a neighbor who is challenged by the weather, let's look after them. If you need a warming shelter, we can provide you a place to get warm. Call dispatch, and we'll take you in. We'll look after you. We'd much rather do this on the front end than have to send a crew out and get you hospitalized. So look after yourselves, look after your fire safety, look after your neighbors. I can't emphasize it enough. We want to help you. We want to look after you. We have the people and the facilities to do that. And I just want to close with one. This has been a bad year for firefighters. Toledo just lost two in a looked like a residential fire yesterday. It was it's just awful. We lost a fellow firefighter in Westland. I know his battalion chief. So if you can do, if it's even questionable and you think it might be cause of fire, please give it some thought. We still have a lot of kerosene heaters, Please be careful. Please be careful. Let's give our firefighters a break. And that concludes my report. I'll turn it over to the township manager.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Two brief items along the fire front. We've had a lot of snow, we've had a lot of blowing, we've had a lot of drifting, and two things have happened. Because of the drifting, the fire hydrants sometimes get covered, and because of snow plowing, the hydrants sometimes get covered. So for your sake and safety's sake, keep your hydrants clear, and I strongly make that request on behalf of the fire department, the police department, and the Department of Public Services. When we had all that heavy snow several weeks back, we incurred, I believe it was nearly $3,000 in cost to clear the hydrants throughout the island. So that's why we're going to ask people to adopt their hydrant in their neighborhood and just keep the snow off of it, for goodness sake. So please do so. It's definitely a benefit to you and yourself. And on behalf of Finance Director Ann Darsnick, I'd like to report the legal fees are $798. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Reedham. All right, that'll conclude the comments and, the reports. Open up to public comment at this time. Know the rules, 3 minutes, introduce yourself, any topic, be glad to have you. Mr. Clark.
Woody Clark, Park Lane. Okay, you said legal fee was $700. Who's it go to?
O'Reilly Rencilio.
Okay, there's a sign, should be a sign on the corner of Meridian and Parkway, Meridian and Baramar. I call it the BAB. Should be a BAB sign there. Big bump. Big. Okay. Snow removal. I get a letter from a fan in Groseal here. Would you please have Brian Loftus or Chief Parzarelli read the snowplow ordinance for the Groseal homeowners at the meeting? Why is it that the homeowners with 3 or 4 car-wide driveways, horseshoe, or long driveways think they can have the right to push their snow across the street onto my property, or easement? They wanted these huge driveways, let them keep the snow. I can understand if it's vacant property or it's a river road where snow is pushed across the road. I have a 12-foot driveway, and the homeowner across the way has a 3-car driveway, and he plows the snow onto my side. Okay, here's the winter emergency that I received from the police department. Blowing and pushing and dumping snow into the street or a public sidewalk. No person shall blow, push, dump snow into any street or sidewalk. Any person who violates this section is responsible for the municipal civil infraction. It's also responsible for all costs included in the township to remove the snow for which the violator may be put into public sidewalks or streets. These costs incurred by the township are additional to any fine imposed for civil infraction. Now, Joey, can you add anything?
I think you've said it all.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now, on the bike paths, everybody loves a bike path. Everybody. They have one little problem, maybe not a problem. They ask me, do we have enough signs?
Permission to respond.
Yeah, by all means.
We have too many signs.
No kidding. Also, the sign on thoroughfare going south to Horse Mill is on the 45, the stop sign. Maybe somebody can get somebody to straighten it up, like this county.
Thoroughfare and
Horse Mill?
Horse Mill?
Going south?
It's on a 45?
It's on a
The road's
45.
on a 45, isn't it?
Pardon?
Is the road on a 45?
Depends on which side you're going.
All right. I'll look at it.
We'll look at it.
Also, unless you're seeking out meat that is certified organic, certified or antibiotic, or hormone-free, or raised by your local farmer you know and trust, chances are very good that you are eating plenty of pharmaceutical drugs with your cheeseburger.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clark. Other public comment? Going. Aaron. One, because I can't remember your last name.
Aaron Himmelsbach, 21631 Canterbury. This is actually for Kathy. I'm really excited about the website. I'm wondering if you're including a mobile-friendly view?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Everything's mobile. Mobile is the big thing now.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Sorry I didn't say that.
Good question, thank you. Other public comment? None offered. I will entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved. Moved by trustee Ozias, seconded by trustee Bundy. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, none offered. We will call adjourned at 8:20. Thank you, everyone.